Okay, Mommy's about to talk to the video, okay?
After you talk to the video, you're done?
Yep.
And we can play dolls?
If you're good. What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Rayvon from Love Lola. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be making our own tags for our bags or for whatever. You know, we're making tags, labels, whatever you want to call it, and you can use it wherever you want to use it. So, I guess let's get started. I am using a Cricut today, but you can use any of those machines that, you know, you could print stuff up on, designs and all of that. Okay, so let's see. I have not learned how to capture my screen yet, so we're gonna do this real ghetto. So we're in Cricut, and I'm gonna go to my stuff and pull up the page that I was just working on. The thing that's cool about Cricut is that you can capture any image that you like and upload it to Cricut, and then you can use that to make a project. Very cool. So I'm gonna go to where I have this project that I'm working on right now for my tags, and I'm gonna go to customize. And I'm just gonna show you really quick. I'm in text, I'm gonna write out Lola. Now, Cricut does give you some options. I used to have the monthly plan. It was like $10 a month, but I got rid of it because I wasn't really using anything in it. And so when I got rid of it, you have to pay for your letters. If you want to use words, everything costs. There's like maybe three free options, and they suck. So it's annoying, but guess what? I got something fun out of this. You can just go to this website. My sister put me on it. It's www.dafont, D-A-F-O-N-T, and there's hella fonts. There's fancy, techno, gothic, basic, script, whatever the heart desires, and they've got some really cute stuff. So all you have to do is once you see one you like, oh, there's cream cake, that's cute. You go to right here, it says download. And then if we open that file and we click on it, you can see it. It'll show you what all the letters look like. And then you hit install. And bam, we got it. So now I can go back to Cricut. Oh, let me go back there real quick. They also have an option underneath there to donate to author. So I always try to remember to go back and give them a little tip, you know, because we're using their stuff to make stuff. They're making our lives easier and giving us some great options. So make sure that you leave a tip. All right. As I don't leave a tip, I'm gonna go back and do it though. What are we doing? Oh, Cricut. So I'm gonna go and find my Cricut. Get that open back up. All right. And now I'm going to go to my font, go to system, and there it is. That's the one I just installed. So who needs to pay $10 to Cricut when we can just go and get our own stuff? All right. I don't know if you've noticed, but everything here is on a grid, and it's by the inches. So that really helps when you're working on a project because you can size it up to exactly what you need. Now, I made my project, my tag is going to be, I think I said a little bit more than an inch high. So I'm going to do that. And if you want to enlarge it, you can. If you like, I can't really see what I'm doing. There we go. I just enlarged it to 150%. And I want it to be, I think it's 2 inches long by 1 inch high. So I'll make it a little bit smaller. Oh no, I'm going to make a big one because I don't feel like doing a little. I'm going to make this big because I'm going to show you how to weed for those who have never weeded before. And I don't feel like doing a little bitty weed. So we're going to do a big one. Let me pick a color I haven't used. Okay. And you can change the colors in here. Like, this isn't a tutorial on Cricut, so I'm not going into detail. This is just a tutorial on the tags, but I'm going to do this just to show you how we do it. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to go to Make It. And now I am going to find, I'm going to be doing this on a mat. And now I'm going to find my blue mat. There we go. Now, when you're doing HTV vinyl like this, you have to mirror it. That's all. Just right there, click mirror, and now we're good to go. Because we're putting it on reverse. So if we didn't mirror it, it would be on backwards. Oh, I gotta connect my maker. Duh. Okay. There's a cord that comes out of your maker, and the other side connects to your computer. Okay, so let me get that in. All right, good. And now I just need to turn it on. It's on. Now I have to get this put on my mat. It's gonna ask you what you wanna select. Actually, we're gonna be using vinyl. You can leave it on the default as far as pressure. I always put mine on more because I just don't want to take the chance that it doesn't go through all the way and then I have to work harder than I want to. Who wants to work hard for anything? Give it all to me. Okay, so that's that. So let me move this out of the way. We're gonna grab our mat. And you're gonna take your HTV and place it on the mat, placing it right in the corner. Make sure that it's on there good. I like to give it a little roll. All right. All right, we're just going to feed it in. Come on, do it. Thank you. Okay, so now is for the weeding. The weeding part. Some of you are like, I know weed. Not that weed, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to just cut around what I just did. You're gonna have a tool that comes with whatever you have that is used for weeding. And all it is it's got a point on the tip. And there we go. Okay, so this tool is just super sharp and it will stab you. I've done it. But yeah, it's just gonna grab it, the little nooks that we need to grab. So basically what we're doing is we are removing the material from the plastic and only leaving what's going to be making the words or the image. I'm gonna try to do it without putting my head under the camera, but I can't see that well, so it's really hard to see this. Okay, so I like to start in the corner and just gently start to pull. It's easiest if you will find... Where you going, girl? Ooh, playground, okay. Bye, baby. Y'all have fun. All right. If you find a corner and start to pull, it's easier. I can't do it without getting my head in front of the camera, so y'all just have to deal with me, okay? Because I can't see. If you're really interested in seeing a video on weeding, I bet if you Google it or go to YouTube, you're gonna find a million videos. Like, this ain't it. This video is about making the tag, not about weeding, so you can't really see all that I'm doing, but you know, weeding is cool. If you're in a rush, it sucks because it's not hard, but it's meticulous. So if you're trying to rush it, you're probably gonna hate it. But if you have, you know, you're giving yourself time to do it, then you're gonna be fine. It's actually kind of relaxing if you ask me. It's gratifying when you see the paper pull away from, and then turn it over so you can see if you got everything. And I think I did. I think I'm good to go. Yep. So now you can see, like I said earlier, that plastic that is around it. And that basically is just kind of like a protective thing. So what you would do now is, if that was a label, be a huge label, you would just lay it right side facing up, right on top of it. Now, if you want to get creative, you can start adding, like I did. I did some hearts and cut them out and place them. If you do decide to do like this and you want to like overlap it, you have to get the heart or whatever is going to be in the background and put it on first. You don't want to hold the heat too long, just long enough to get the heart or the shape or whatever off of that plastic lining onto the material. And then you grab your next piece that you're going to lay on top, which is my Lola, and lay it on top with the plastic covering, and then heat it all together. Okay? And you can just keep layering it as much as you want. Do what you want to do. Like, go crazy. Put some stars on it, man. You know, just do it. So what I did was, I always keep scrap pieces of leather hanging around. And that's what I like to use for little projects like this, or for my handles. Or I cut up some leather earlier to use, and now I can't find it. That's crazy. Okay, anyway. I'm not very good at planning stuff, so what I did is I just grabbed the leather and vinyl that I was interested in, and I just started cutting a bunch of different sizes. Now you can plan it out, you know, if you know you're gonna make your letters 1 inch by 1/2 inch, then you can plan accordingly. But I can't do all that. My head starts to hurt. So I just cut a bunch of different sizes. Most of them are about 1.5 inch long by, I think I did by 3/4 inch high. I did one by 1/2 inch, but by the time you leave room for a seam allowance, it just doesn't make any sense. So the smallest I would go as far as the height would be like, let's say 3/4 inch is probably a good size for the smallest you can go. But my favorite ones are, let's see, like this is 1, 2, this is 3/4 inch, and it can even be a little bit bigger because, you know, we have to leave that 1/8 inch seam allowance to sew around the top. I also like this size, and this one is 1.25 inch high and 1.5 inch long. So that's a pretty good size too. I like this one too. Let's see what this one is. This one is 2 inches long and 1 inch high. That might be my favorite size right there. Here's another one on that size. That one's pretty good. This one's not bad. This one is about 2¼ inch long and 7/8 inch high. Again, I was just cutting. I just wanted a variety of sizes and shapes. And then what I did was I printed out a whole bunch of the words that I wanted. So let's talk about these really quick. If you're in my Baggy Baddies group, you saw that I posted how when I cut these are vinyl and leather pieces. I did both. So you can use leather or vinyl for this. This time I'm actually going to use a little bit of canvas, because if you have a canvas that doesn't unravel, then it would be great to use for this too. And you can use it as a tag, stick it in your seams and sew it in. Really easy. Okay, so I'm using the Cricut, and what you're going to be using is HTV. So let me just start from the beginning. Because I know when I first did this, I was so confused. This is when I first started sewing. I used to just make masks before I started making bags. And I was so confused because they used the term vinyl, and then with bags was using the term vinyl, and I was just like, what is this vinyl, and how come you can make a bag out of it? But she's telling me to melt it on a mask. Like, it wasn't making sense. So let me try to help you a little bit, just in case you're starting off from the very beginning. HTV is a type of material that will adhere to another material with heat. There are all kinds of HTV. Some of them are shiny looking. For example, I have some that is made with glitter. There is some that is shiny, and there's some that are matte. You can get them in prints. For example, this is a pack that I purchased of different animal print. Not that. So you can get really cool and funky with this stuff. Let's see. They come in a variety of colors. Usually you can buy a variety pack. For example, all of those animal prints came in a pack together. And then all of these different colors that you're seeing, these came in a pack together as well. Please note that all HTV is not created equal. I had to learn and I had to burn, because when you go to weed it, which we'll go over in a second, some of these HTVs, they're not working. They're not working. It's just, read the reviews and pay what you need to pay to get you a good quality HTV that is not going to make you spend an hour trying to weed, and then in the end you still throw it away because it's just a mess. Now, what I want to also say is there's another kind of HTV that is not made for, it's not a heat HTV or a vinyl. So just make sure you read about it. Like this one, this is a vinyl, but this one is for adding to like glass. Like if you want to make a cup or a mug or something like that, you don't use heat on it, or maybe you can, but anyway, it's not the one that you're supposed to use on, like to heat press on clothing or mask or bags or whatever. So just, you have to just really read the description when you go to buy it to make sure that you are purchasing the correct one. I bought all of this stuff years and years ago, so I don't really have a link for it. It probably isn't even there anymore, but I got them all off of Amazon. I will say this stuff, beautiful, but no good. I couldn't weed it for anything. It would not separate. I wound up having to just draw, because I used it on my shirt that I wore to So Magical last week, and I had to just draw it and cut it, and it did adhere very well, but it just, my Cricut wasn't cutting it. It was too thick or something. And anyway, you're gonna learn. So, and these come with something that looks like this. And this is what you use to place over it whenever you put it under the heat, because you don't want to put your iron or your heat directly onto these pieces of HTV. You need to protect it or it's going to distort it or melt it or whatever. So you have to make sure that once you lay that down, you lay this on top before you add your heat, but we'll go over that in a second. I'm talking a lot and I'm not a professional at this, y'all. I'm just like you. I just start playing with stuff and make it. So if anything is not all the way correct, I apologize right now. I'm just trying to share what I did today with you all. If we got some pros out there, feel free to leave in the comments some suggestions if you know on HTV where to buy it, how to use it, whatever. I'm all about learning more. Okay, so with that being said, if you're in my group, you noticed, I'll try to take a picture, that on a couple of my pieces, you can see a little bit of an outline. Barely, but you know me. I am just all about the details, and so I noticed it, and it got on my nerves. I'm going to put it up to the camera and see if we can catch it. I don't think you can. You see that? Do you see right there? Okay, here we go. Do you see how if you look very closely, you can see the square? I haven't done my nails. That's leftovers from So Magical. Very cute. You can see the outline around that. You see that? Especially on the brown. You see that outline? Anyway, it's getting on my nerves. And the reason that that is there, the reason that that's there is because when you cut these out, so the HTV looks like this. The front is going to be shiny, and that shininess is a plastic protective that's over the HTV. On the back is going to be smooth and kind of matte usually, but that shininess is what protects it. And when you cut it, if you cut it where just a little bit, you see how just a little, I cut it right around that plastic. When you lay it on here and then apply the heat, the outline of that plastic shows, and that's what happened. So what you have to do is, I did it over here. If you care, it's not a big deal, but if you care, what you would need to do is make sure that you leave enough room when you print it out so that it's the same size as the actual material that you're going to be putting it on, and that way you won't have that mark. Now, you may ask, why did you do that then? Why did you cut it so close? Well, it's because like I said, I printed a lot of stuff at one time just so I can have it. It's hard to see it. That's the thing about weeding, it's very hard to see. But if you look, I have a bunch of stuff on there, and now I have to weed it. And if you space it out, you know, maybe we'll only get 2 words on this piece right here. But if I put them close together, I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm always trying to, you know, save money. I don't want to use a whole sheet to do 5 pieces when I can put it all together really close. And when you're putting it on shirts and stuff like that, it doesn't matter how close because that print doesn't show. So I guess the cotton is just a little bit better at taking the heat than these materials, may be a little bit more sensitive. So that's why that print is shown. But that's why I had it so close together. But if you don't want that print, then just space it out. Okay, so let's talk about so once you've weeded out the piece that you want to use, what you want to do is find a piece that fits. And I don't think any of these fit. Okay, there we go.
You done with the video?
Almost.
5 minutes.
Thank you for telling me how long I can do my video for, baby. Okay, so find a piece that fits. My baby says she is so bored. Oh my gosh. All right. Hey, baby, daddy's calling you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just center it as best as you can. If you want to get...
Yes.
Lola, little baby girl, mommy's recording. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay, so center it as best you can. If you want to use a ruler, you can. I am not that serious about it. But just get it centered. And again, remember that you do need to leave 1/8 of an inch seam allowance for you to sew this to your, to whatever you're sewing it to. All right, so got it there. The backing is going to have a little bit of stick to it. So push it down and it should stick enough to not move. So we're gonna head over to our machine. I have mine on 300, but this material can be pretty like sensitive. It heats up really fast. So I would say put it on about 300, but just know your machine. Am I focused? I don't have my glasses so I can't see. Oh, I hope it's focused. I'm going to tap it. Please be focused. Okay, and we're going to take that sheet that we talked about earlier, and we're going to lay it on top. And we're going to press it for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 seconds. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to, yeah. Now, if you start to lift this paper up, if it's not quite ready, that the letter will come off. It will stick to that plastic on top and come off. That's how you know it needs a little bit more heat. And once you do it a little bit, you'll be able to just judge. You'll look at it and be like, you know what? That needs a little bit more heat. Like right now, it's on there, but it can do a little bit more. So I'm going to go back and hold it down for maybe like 4 seconds. Okay. And this kind of HTV is the kind that you're supposed to let cool before you actually pull the plastic off. So we're going to let that sit for a second before we do that. Okay, so the one that we did earlier has dried, or not dried, it's ready. Jeez Louise. And there we go. I have another tag to use. So cool, right? So cool, so easy, so free. I mean, if you got the stuff at home like I do already. And it doesn't come off. I use this stuff on my mask that I make, and I still have masks from the pandemic that I use, and with this stuff that's still on it, it hasn't come off at all. So don't be afraid of the HTV. All right, and you can also get yourself some kind of canvas or some kind of material that doesn't unravel, and get, you know, your label put on it if you want to burn the edges just to be safe. And then you can fold that over like that and just stick it inside of your bag, you know, like maybe right underneath the zipper. If you have a zipper overlay, or just somewhere inside the bag, there you go. You have a little tag. So easy, right? All right, I hope you found this video helpful. If you make any of these, or if you make a tag or a label, please tag me on social media. I would love to see it. Especially, please post it in my Baggy Baddies page on Facebook. If you're not in it already, then what are you waiting for? Join it. Do it. It's fun. Come hang out with me and my friends. There's some good stuff in there. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.